Hey guys, I'm Charles,
I'm Sam,
and we're the Disc Golf Travelers.
and today we are going to do a video about our favorite discs.
So I was thinking, we start with the truth.
Throw things on.
All sorts of things. I threw those other discs I'm going to get to later. The truth, specifically speaking, the EMAC Burst Truth is my number one go-to. I carry the Truth in 2 molds, even though, as you can see, I have a bunch of them trying to figure out. Shout out to the Dynamic Disc Squad, the EMAC Truth with the squad stamp. I got that when I reached the commander level. Another Burst, another Lucid, Eric McCabe Lucid X Tours Team Series 2021. One of my favorites that I think we could agree too pretty to throw is the Dymax Eyeball Rainbow Truth.
We have a lot of those discs. We should do a video about that one day.
The too pretty to throw? Yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3. I know there's at least 2 or 3 back here off the top of my head. I need to stop throwing the Wysocki Saki Bomb Player Championship one. It's so pretty when it flies. That's the problem. That gold flake. But yeah, so like I said, I carry 2, the Burst and the Lucid, both EMAC Truths. The reason, the Lucid isn't an EMAC, just the Burst one. The reason I carry both is for the same reason, and the reason I carry both is because they are different just a little bit. Both will run flat, straight as day for a good ride. The Burst will make a sharp turn, about 175 to 200, versus the Lucid will go about 200, 225 and have more of a soft finish. But this one, for some reason, likes to skip more for me than the Burst, which has a tendency to hit and stick. A lot of tombstones with this disc. There's a lot of embedded mud that's not coming off. Some solid splits from some nasty tree hits. Actually, I took that one last week on the first 9 at Otter, the one that I kind of threw a temper tantrum about because it was on a good line.
The Lucid Truth was the first disc that I ever trusted. So that one is close to my heart. I love that one.
And now that she's expanded her trust circle, we've taken it back.
Because I did take that one from his bag for a long time. So the first disc that I'm going to talk about, which is one of my absolute favorites, is the Bard. This is my favorite, upshot disc. And it's one of those, I know perfectly the way it's going to curve. Countless times it's landed just right under the basket or almost swooped past and almost gone in. I just absolutely love this. And there was a couple times this past summer where he would be like, wow, that was a great shot. And I'm like, it's the Bard, baby. And then also, one of my other things about the Bard is that for the longest time he thought that I threw a harp. And so every time I would throw the Bard, he would say, was that your harp? And I'd say, no, I don't have a harp. That was my Bard. So that's just kind of an inside joke between us now. When he's like, what disc was that? I'll be like, oh, that was the harp, not the harp. I also realized today that...
I'm just noticing that's really not that dissimilar. The Truth has a little bit thicker edge and is a little bit more steep, but they're actually really similar discs.
They are. And that's probably why the Truth was the first one I trusted, and this one is one of my current favorites. I also found this other Bard, as I was just kind of looking through discs tonight. I forgot that we had, it's a Lucid. And it's a beautiful artwork. And I'll be perfectly honest, I have not thrown this Bard. Looking at the disc, I don't know that either of us has thrown this Bard. So
a couple of times.
Maybe?
Just in the field.
Okay. So it's very pretty, and it is one disc that I have multiples of.
So like I said, the Truth is absolutely without a doubt my favorite disc, but if we're being honest, the disc I throw the most is the Pearl White Lucid Renegade Limited Edition. We discussed, I learned earlier tonight, it's the limited edition. I didn't know that when I bought it. I had just reached a level in the Dynamic Disc Squad where I got a half-hour notice before new discs went on sale, and so I bought 2 of them because that was the max. And as you can see, it has absolutely become my most thrown disc. For comparison, that's the one that was never thrown. It was bought as the backup for when I lost this one, what I figured would be eventually, because at that point in playing, seemed like when I went out, I would lose a driver almost every time, either off the kick on a tree or just thinking I had more arm than I did. But this disc kind of broke me of that. It got me to the point where I learned my release angles, and if you snap it hard enough, oh, you can hyzer flip this thing and put it on a dead straight line, which is why a year and a half later, many trees, I think a couple of cars, and this one's still in my bag as my most thrown disc.
And some mud holes.
Definitely been in some mud holes. I had to climb halfway into a cave one time when I had gone over. It wasn't a real cave, but it was like a 10-foot sinkhole, and you definitely had to have somebody pull your arm to come back out. I now have a dynamic retriever stick for that. Yeah, there's no more going into caves. What's your last disc?
So the other disc that I wanted to talk about is this diamond. And it's a little faded because it's very loved. This disc was a gift to me from a friend and female disc golfer as well. Shout out Melanie. She told me that this disc would change my game, and it absolutely has. And I love this disc. Literally anytime I throw this disc with someone that I haven't played with before, they'll be like, "Wow, that's such a perfect S curve," and I don't tell them. Only this disc does it. I don't know how to do it with any other disc. So I'm just like, oh, well, thank you. But it really does. It throws a perfect S every time, unless I grip lock it, which seems to be a problem sometimes. But other than that, it's a perfect S curve every single time. I know exactly the distance it's going to go. I know exactly where it's going to land. And I've had, occasionally, just like with anything, the wind catches it or whatever, but I absolutely trust this disc 100% when I'm in one of those positions where I just don't know what to do. You got to go to the diamond. So that's my two favorites, the Bard and the diamond.
Those are our favorites. Tell us in the comments what's your favorite disc, what's your go-to, what's your number one. And then like, follow, subscribe so you can see all of our new content coming out. Like our video of our December disc member box from Disc Store. Follow them at Disc Store and at Disc Store Nate. They have tons of cool stuff every month. We have not been disappointed. We are three boxes in from them.
And hey, if you think our picks for our favorite discs are garbage, let us know.
Why? Why do you think it's garbage, and what disc should we be throwing instead?
Right, absolutely.
Don't leave us out here in the cold. Let us know. If we're wrong, let us know. Unless you're talking about the truth, then you're wrong. It's literally on the disc. It's the truth.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Bye.